we might talk about how BPD looks from the outside perspective to those people who are in our lives. Good morning, Jill. Thank you. I had empathy. I didn't have real empathy. I had empathy, but it wasn't real empathy. And I'll explain that what you want if you think about what they want. That's the easiest, quick sell somebody a car if you don't know what kind of car they want to drive. You understand what I'm saying? Detect what other people are feeling before they know they're feeling it. So we're somebody that people can trust with some of their tougher secrets, for example, right? And we're going to be there for them and not judge them because we understand what it's like to be judged. So there's some good stuff. Other people are forced to look at you differently. That's important because what's the first thing we do typically after a meltdown? We beg them to stay. Well, you're not going to leave us, right? Especially our partner. Don't know what to do. You simply say, thank you for the information. I'll think about that. That's it. That's all you say. And then you take your time, you take some space, and you do just that. You think about it. And you have to think about it too, which is something that we need to remember in the darker times, in the tougher moments. We have to be able to separate between a reaction and a response is more than just time. It's also what you do in that time. I always try information and use it as data to curate a better world. You can't start arguing with that information. Well, the reason we're supposed to be acting. We do know when it comes to something like this. You can't go forever and not improve. You've got to look at what you're doing wrong, and you've got to be willing to be honest with yourself, and you've got to try and take our shirt off our back for someone else. But usually we're doing it for the wrong reasons, and it's because we feel invalidated inside. We have issues inside. And keeping a scorecard is not genuine caring. Exactly. We don't genuinely care before remission, typically. We say we do, but we're controlling people with that care. And that's the same thing that happens. It's uncomfortable, guys. I mean, there's not a single part of change here that's fun. If it was, you'd already be doing it. Stacy says, how did you figure out flowers so she would just feel loved? I was buying flowers because I felt empty. You know what I mean? Problems. You have to understand how the rest of the world's looking at you. You have to admit the things that have to change. Then you have to handle the fears. And usually you have to do things under a microscope to get better. I had to put every interaction, every word that came out of my mouth, every conversation I had, every action I was taking. If I was thinking about quitting, my toughest mental health conditions in the world to treat, for sure. And that is due to our ridiculous ways of controlling our environment, our ability to curate a world that's comfortable. And that's what it's all about for us when we bolstered the passion. It gave me a lot more time for passion. My definition of passion, like my definition of empathy, thanks, Phoenix, was totally wrong. I was given for the wrong reasons. You to need you. And you also need to understand that the world does need you, but they need you healthy. They need you strong. They need you powerful and full of all of your potential. I was exactly like you. Is your only source of personal value. That is a destruction. That is a time bomb waiting to happen. And when it happens, it's going to be bad. Tell me how good I was in order to feel anything positive about myself. And that is an issue. Create your world so that nobody presses your buttons. The goal is to eliminate the buttons. That's the goal. All the fighting and the drama and the bullshit. That's all you're going to lose by building the proper foundation. That's it. Therapy and tons of mental health professionals. Not a single one of them could tell me that all the fears were empty. They were fake. They were like holograms, and I could just walk right through these monsters. And I really wish are on the other side of terror. It's entirely true. And if you're afraid of a change, it's probably a good indicator that it's a change that needs to be made and that you would be rewarded for making that change. That's the truth. Recognizing that your coping mechanisms have not been working. Are you seeing your environment reject you for the perpetual negative behavior that you're exhibiting? Is it happening over and over again? Isn't it time to maybe change a couple things? And other people look at them. They all do it on the productivity, the accountability, the awareness, the responsibility of building the life that you want to live. Because nobody's going to swoop in and do that for you. As Mel Robbins